Dutch Mantell gets help from David Schultz as he fires Little Bear to the center of the ring again. The Dutchman picks him up, drapes him over that rope, sets him up to slingshot him off there. Referee. Dutch Mantell. Ooh, he throws Little Bear right straight off the ropes into Jerry Calhoun. Chief Thundercloud comes in and grabs Mantell. Little Bear threw Schultz into the helmet as Little Bear goes to work on Lawler, but he's hit from behind by David Schultz. Schultz covers him, 1, 2, 3, and there's a count. There is the count. The winners are going to be Schultz and Mantell. So, the Southern Tag titles will change hands in 11 minutes and 16 seconds as Dutch Mantell and David Schultz will be awarded in a wild and woolly finish, will be awarded the Southern Tag titles. This is Lance Russell from the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. Once again, Lawler goes down. Stomper coming after him. Buddy Diamond climbs on the rope in the corner, comes down on top of the Stomper. Goes over to help Lawler. I think probably it's got to be a disqualification, and referee Jerry Calhoun was going to raise his hand, but the Stomper threw him down. And now is working on Buddy Diamond in the corner. Lawler coming in after him behind. Nails the Stomper from behind. The referee bleeding where the Stomper got him. Buddy Diamond being pounded by the Stomper. Lawler knocked back out of the way. There goes referee Jerry Calhoun. Back out of it again, and Diamond and Lawler try to control the enraged Mongolian Stomper. Lawler pounding away at him. Here comes Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson. He nails Buddy Diamond. Lawler heads to the dressing room, leaving his private out here by himself. Buddy Diamond staggers his way, and Mongolian Stomper, in a rare display, grabbing Rocky Johnson for helping him out when he was hurt and held between Diamond and Lawler. The eventual outcome is going to be a disqualification on Lawler for Diamond's interference, but Stomper is not interested in that. And so, the final result, the Mongolian Stomper wins on a disqualification over Jerry Lawler. This is Lance Russell from the jam-packed Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. We're in the dressing room at the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum where an incredible battle just took place before 11,200 people, in which a Mongolian Stomper won by disqualification over Jerry Lawler. Stomper, I've got to ask you this. The referee was in there trying to raise your hand to give the match to you, and you refused to let him put your hand up in the air.
Lance, I made a promise to the people of Memphis last week, And by getting my hand raised and a disqualification is not what I want. That to me isn't finishing Jerry Lawler off. I promised him I was going to bury him in his own trench with his rats with him. And like I said, he got disqualified. The referee wanted to raise my hand, but I didn't want him to raise my hand. I want him to raise my hand when Lawler's laying in the trench. But you know, Lance, you can't beat two guys at one time, especially when you have a rat. Yes, a dirty, low-down rat coming off the top rope on your back with a whip in his hand. You can't do that. You can't beat two of them rats with one behind you. So now, Lance, I'm going to do something now I've never done in my 13 years as a professional wrestler. I'm going to ask for help. And I got the man right over here, if he'll come over here, is Rocky Johnson, that saved my neck tonight. Rocky, I'm going to ask you next week to be in my corner to watch the rats, to keep the rats off my back so I can complete the job with Lawler.
Right on. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be in your corner, and I'll guarantee you one thing. If that rat makes one move, I'll guarantee you I'll bury him myself.
Put it there, brother.
Right on.
Rocky Johnson and the Mongolian Stomper.
One last thing, Lance. I promised the people in Memphis that the blood would flow from Lawler's head and that I was going to finish the King of Memphis. With Rocky Johnson in my corner to watch the rats, I'm going to complete the job for the people. I'm going to make my last promise. The blood will flow again, and Lawler, yes, I will bury you in the trenches because Rocky is there to watch the rats, and I'll complete my job.
There it is from the Mongolian Stomper. He had Lawler bleeding tonight. He won on a disqualification, refused to have his hand raised. He has promised back again more blood from Lawler, and he's going to finish the job this coming week with Jerry Lawler. This is Lance Russell from the Memphis Mid.
Clements goes running out for Gould, but he stops before he gets there. Now George is in. He pushes Clements back. They come together again. They're pushing one another way. They're very cautious to start off. The bad. Now George took him down with a flying arm. Now took him with another one. He hits the floor and goes out. Clements goes out onto the floor. He's holding his back. George is doing very good. Oh, look at that. He pulled the rope, pulled Clements plumb over into the ring. He's holding on to the rope. Clements holding the rope. Hits George in the stomach. Now he gets the front face lock on George. Trying to lead him across the ring. George takes his arm and flips him with the arm lock. Clements up. He didn't like that at all. The referee says, go ahead, it's legal. He hits George again, grabs the face lock on. George takes that arm again, swings him over. Clements' point is illegal, but the referee says it's legal. He only had his arm, no hair. He grabs that arm again, flips him over. Clements don't like that. George and Clements both walking around now looking for an opening, either one of them. Here they go. Clements hit George and hit him in the head. Down George goes. He's turning over. Clements picks him up with a hair, hits him back the head with an elbow. George goes to the floor. It's starting up. Kicks him in, down he goes. He's starting up again. There, he hit him again. George staggered but didn't go down. He hit George again, that time on the chin, and down he went. Clements hits him again right above the eye. Maybe blacked his eye. Hit him again. George goes down. He's getting up. He kicked him in the head. George starting up. Clements kicks him again. Clements grabs him by the hair and then brings him over to flying Mary. Hits on the rope, goes up to jump on him, and George rolls out of the way, and Clements hit flat of his back. George is up and started after him. George grabbed him by the arm and throwed him into the turnbuckle. Oh, he hit hard. George went in, grabbed him, take him across, throw him into the other turnbuckle. Brings him over with a flying mare. Goes on him for a pin. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Steve threw him off. Clements threw him off. Now Clements holding up his hand to wait. He don't want to go. He wants to rest. That last bump was a little heavy for him. Now George is walking around looking at him, looking for an opening. They come together. Clemens hits him in the stomach with a fist, hits him back the head with an elbow. George staggers and goes back into the rope, comes out. Clemens gets him by the hair of the head and hits him side of the head. Down George goes, holding his ear. Clemens walking around, ready to catch him by the hair. Catches him by the hair, brings him over to flying mare. Then he come down with an elbow. George rolls out of the way, and Clemens hits on his elbow on the mat. George crawls on him, covered him up. 1, 2. Clemens throws him off again. Clemens is up, holding, shaking his arm, and he hit when he tried to hit George. Now they're walking around. They're coming in. Clemens hits George again, hits him again in the head with his fist. Pulls his hair and hits him with the head. The referee tells him to stop. George hits him in the stomach. Clemens kicks him in the head with his foot. Clemens hits him again. George hits him in the stomach. Clemens hits him on top of the head with his elbow, and down George goes. Now he's got him by the hair of the head. Hits him on the chin. George hits Steve. George goes down, but Steve comes in, hits George in the side and the ribs. Now he's got him by the hair of the head, bringing him up. He throws him into the turnbuckle. George puts his foot up and stops it. Throws Steve's head into twice. 3 times he throws it there. 4 times he throws it in there. He grabs Steve and runs him across the other side. Steve goes back flat of his back, and George goes on top of him.